We should probably take some negative experiences as well, just in the interest of balance. You took the decision to knock on the. Well, the problem is if you really hated your job. And remember, Prince Harry is talking about work that is affecting your mental health. It's not just talking about work that isn't sending you in to work with a spring in your step and a little song in your heart. It's actually having a deleterious effect upon your mental health. It is, in other words, making you ill. You don't have to carry on doing a job that is making you ill. It's unlikely to imagine anybody who gave up the job that was making them ill and now regrets it. But if you honestly think you're in that category, 0345 6060 973 is the number that you need. Otherwise, the success stories, as it were, how low were you and how much of a difference or how high have you gone after making that decision to walk away? And, Ben in Alicante was a bouncer. So it's not a class. They always try and turn everything into class now, don't they? Have you noticed this? It's almost replaced post-Brexit, apart from the refugees. It's replaced the racism that they used to use to get everybody biting chunks out of each other. Now they've gone back to the class battles and the class issues. The middle class are the new enemy. You've got to clamp down on middle-class drug users, was yesterday's story. Today, Prince Harry is telling people whose work is making them sick to think about doing something else. God damn him. How could he possibly be that wrong and cruel? So if you did it, tell us what happened. 0345 6060 973. And if you don't have a story, and I don't really, if you don't have a story that fits into this, then join me and in fact challenge me on the issue of why does it get them so enraged? I'm going to loosely say right-wing media, and I'm going to loosely add exactly the same people that threw their rattle out the pram over the issue of working from home. If it's not for the reasons that I have cautiously suggested, why on earth are they so enraged by a member of the royal family suggesting that if your job is making you ill, you should stop doing it? 0345 6060 973. Why is this such an outrageous intervention from the military veteran?
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you are watching from. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Daily Diaries Friday. I am your host, Mike. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you never miss a video. If you enjoy what you see, make sure you hit the like button, share it with your family and friends, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section because I love hearing from you. Stick around because today's video is going to be amazing. Let's dive right in. Prince Harry's confrontational relationship with the British media has escalated into a deeply personal and strategic conflict, characterized by legal challenges and public exposés that fundamentally challenge traditional royal communication protocols. By directly challenging tabloid narratives and filing multiple lawsuits against media organizations, the Duke of Sussex has transformed from a passive royal figure into an active media critic, strategically using platforms like his memoir Spare and high-profile interviews to control his own narrative. This approach has not only provoked significant pushback from established media institutions, but has also exposed the complex power dynamics between public figures and press institutions, revealing systemic biases and sensationalist reporting practices that have long operated unchecked within the British media landscape. Prince Harry's confrontational relationship with the British tabloid press has erupted into a full-scale media war, characterized by unprecedented legal challenges and public denunciations that fundamentally challenge the long-standing symbiotic dynamic between the royal family and journalism. His strategic lawsuits against publications that have repeatedly invaded his and his family's privacy represent a radical departure from the traditional royal protocol of stoic silence, effectively weaponizing legal mechanisms to push back against what he perceives as systematic media harassment. This aggressive stance has predictably triggered a fierce counterattack from media outlets, who view his actions as a direct threat to their established narrative-shaping power, resulting in increasingly vitriolic coverage that seeks to undermine his credibility and motivations. The intensity of the scrutiny extends beyond mere reportage, transforming into a complex psychological battle where each legal motion and public statement becomes a calculated chess move in a high-stakes confrontation that exposes the deeply entrenched power structures within British media and royal reporting. The media landscape surrounding the British royal family reveals a troubling pattern of differential treatment, with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle bearing the brunt of a disproportionately aggressive narrative. While other royal members have historically been granted considerable latitude and discretionary coverage, this couple finds themselves subjected to an unprecedented level of intense, often unforgiving public examination. The underlying dynamics suggest more than mere journalistic scrutiny. Instead, the coverage betrays deeper systemic biases that emerge when traditional royal protocols are challenged. By questioning established hierarchies and speaking candidly about institutional shortcomings, Harry and Meghan have seemingly triggered a defensive response from media structures accustomed to maintaining carefully curated royal personas. This has revealed the fragility of long-standing media-monarchy relationships and exposed the uncomfortable realities of inherent prejudices that simmer beneath seemingly neutral reportage. Prince Harry's confrontational approach towards media institutions has escalated into a full-blown conflict, fundamentally challenging the traditional power dynamics between the royal family and the press. By directly confronting tabloid narratives through strategic legal challenges and public statements, he has deliberately disrupted the long-standing unwritten protocols that previously constrained royal interactions with journalists. This aggressive stance has predictably triggered a fierce backlash from media outlets, who perceive his challenges as a direct threat to their established reporting mechanisms and perceived right to scrutinize royal lives. The heightened media outrage has manifested through increasingly hostile coverage, punitive editorial narratives, and a coordinated effort to portray Prince Harry as disruptive and ungrateful, effectively weaponizing their considerable platform against him in a retaliatory manner. The fallout from Prince Harry's confrontational approach to the British media has created deep fissures within the royal institution, exposing vulnerabilities that threaten its carefully cultivated public image. The once unassailable monarchy now finds itself wrestling with unprecedented reputational damage as Harry's legal challenges and public revelations systematically dismantle the traditional protocols of royal discretion. His willingness to publicly critique media narratives has not only strained familial relationships, but also fundamentally challenged the unwritten rules that have governed royal press interactions for generations. The long-term consequences of these media battles extend far beyond immediate personal conflicts, potentially reshaping how the royal family will be perceived and engage with public scrutiny in the future, with each exposed controversy incrementally eroding the institution's mystique and perceived unity. The media's role in shaping public perception of Prince Harry has been nothing short of a relentless narrative battlefield where established power structures and journalistic integrity collide. As O'Brien astutely observes, the traditional symbiotic relationship between the royal family and the press has been fundamentally disrupted by Harry's willingness to challenge media narratives, exposing deep-seated biases and unwritten rules of engagement. Media outlets, accustomed to controlling royal narratives, have responded with a potent mixture of defensiveness and retaliatory coverage, systematically amplifying criticisms and scrutinizing every aspect of Harry's public and private life. The responsibility of fair and balanced reporting has been increasingly compromised, with sensationalism often trumping nuanced understanding, thereby revealing more about the media's own institutional limitations than about the subject of their intense coverage. The relationship between the British royal family and the media has entered a transformative era, marked by increasingly complex and confrontational interactions. Traditional boundaries of coverage are being systematically challenged, with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle at the forefront of this recalibration, deliberately disrupting long-established protocols of royal press engagement. Their proactive approach, leveraging personal narratives through platforms like Netflix, documentaries, and tell-all interviews, represents a strategic pivot from passive acceptance to active media management, effectively forcing mainstream press outlets to confront their own historical narratives and inherent biases. This deliberate reshaping of media interactions signals a profound generational shift where younger royals are no longer willing to be passive subjects of tabloid storytelling, but are instead asserting control over their own public representation. Prince Harry's confrontational approach to media scrutiny has inadvertently sparked broader societal debates that transcend personal narrative, compelling the public to critically re-evaluate systemic power dynamics within journalism and institutional structures. The unprecedented legal challenges and public critiques levelled by the Duke of Sussex have exposed significant fault lines in traditional media accountability, prompting nuanced discussions about ethical reporting and the boundaries of press freedom. Moreover, his experiences have catalyzed a more profound examination of the monarchy's relevance in contemporary society, challenging long-standing assumptions about institutional privilege and media deference. By refusing to accept conventional narratives and exposing the mechanisms of media manipulation, Prince Harry has effectively transformed a personal struggle into a compelling social discourse that interrogates power, representation, and the fundamental right to personal dignity in an increasingly complex media landscape. Prince Harry's personal journey reveals a complex narrative driven by profound emotional experiences and a steadfast commitment to protecting his family from the corrosive effects of invasive media scrutiny. Having witnessed firsthand the devastating consequences of relentless tabloid harassment, most poignantly through his mother Princess Diana's tragic experience, Harry has developed a deeply personal mission to challenge systemic media injustices. His actions are not merely rebellious, but strategically calculated to disrupt a toxic press ecosystem that has historically weaponized intrusive reporting against vulnerable public figures. By pursuing legal challenges and publicly articulating his family's boundaries, Harry demonstrates a remarkable resolve to redefine the traditional power dynamics between royalty and media, effectively transforming from a passive subject of reportage to an active agent of change who refuses to accept the status quo of media manipulation. Thanks for watching, Squaddies. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Your support means the world, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Until then, take care and stay awesome.